For 30 years, scientists told us they knew exactly who Ötzi was. In 2023, a massive DNA study revealed that almost everything we'd been taught about him was completely wrong. We all know how his story began. In September 1991, Erica and Helmut Simon, a German couple on a hiking detour near the Austrian-Italian border, saw what looked like a brown leather doll sticking out of the ice. They thought it was an unlucky climber, frozen maybe a few decades earlier. 2 days later, legendary mountaineer Reinhold Messner stood at the exact same spot, looked at a strange copper axe lying beside the body, and realized this man had not died in their century. He had died in prehistory. That man became known as Ötzi the Iceman, a 5,300-year-old murder victim and the most studied human body in the world. Before we walk into the Alps to meet a Copper Age man who got shot in the back and waited 53 centuries to tell us his real story, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It really helps the channel keep digging into discoveries like this one. Ötzi was found at 3,210 meters of altitude in a small rocky gully on the Tisnjoch Pass, lying face down with his left arm bent across his chest. Scattered around him on the ice was a complete, pristine Copper Age kit, a copper-bladed axe, an unfinished yew longbow, a quiver with 14 arrows, a flint dagger, birch bark containers, and 2 pieces of medicinal fungus on a leather thong. But the body itself was even more astonishing. His skin, his tattoos, his organs, his last meal, and his genome were all intact. For the first time, science had a complete prehistoric European to examine like a recently deceased patient. By the early 2000s, the official story had settled. Ötzi was about 45 years old, 5 feet 2 inches tall, and weighed around 50 kilograms. He had brown eyes, was probably pale-skinned, and carried ancestors from the Eurasian steppe. He was killed by an arrow, fled into the freezing mountains, and was instantly sealed beneath a moving glacier that preserved him for 53 centuries. Every single piece of that story had a peer-reviewed paper behind it. In the last few years, as archaeologists and geneticists have gone back with better tools, every single piece has fallen apart. The biggest revision came in August 2023. A team led by Ke Wang at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology, working with the Institute for Mummy Studies at Eurac Research in Bolzano, published a landmark paper in Cell Genomics. They had resequenced Ötzi's entire genome using modern technology, and they proved that the original 2012 genome had been heavily contaminated with modern human DNA. The flawed 2012 study claimed Ötzi carried steppe ancestry, genes from the Yamnaya horse herders of the Pontic steppe. This was always an anomaly, because those steppe herders did not reach Central Europe until at least 400 years after Ötzi died. He was simply too old to have those genes. With a clean genome, the steppe ancestry completely vanished. It was modern DNA bleeding into the ancient sample. What replaced it was infinitely more fascinating. Ötzi was over 90% Anatolian farmer. That is a higher proportion than any other contemporaneous European individual ever sequenced. His ancestors came almost directly from what is now Turkey, walked into the Alps, and essentially never mixed with anyone else. While farmers all over Europe were absorbing local hunter-gatherer DNA, Ötzi's population stayed completely isolated. The Alps acted as a massive genetic wall. He belonged to a small mountain community that had preserved its founding farmer ancestry in a way almost no other group on the continent did. And the genetics get even stranger. In 2024, a separate team analysed ancient DNA from 47 individuals who lived in the same South Tyrol region between roughly 6,400 and 1300 BCE. They wanted to see how Ötzi compared to his actual neighbours. The result was a stunning contradiction. His autosomal DNA, the big picture ancestry, fit his isolated Alpine community perfectly, but his specific paternal line, a rare branch of haplogroup G2A called Z6208, did not match his contemporaries. The men who lived in his own valleys mostly carried a different branch called L497. Even more haunting is his mitochondrial DNA. the line he inherited exclusively from his mother. It is a subgroup called K1F, and it has never been found in any other ancient or modern human anywhere on Earth. Zoom out and he looks like the ultimate product of an isolated community. Zoom in on the family lines and his parents look like absolute outsiders. Both realities are true. The new genome also drastically rewrote his face. Earlier reconstructions showed a pale, light-skinned man with thick, wavy hair. The 2023 analysis revealed he actually carried genes for some of the darkest skin pigmentation seen in any ancient European, darker than modern Sicilians, and he carried the genetic markers for male pattern baldness. Albert Zink, who runs the institute that owns the mummy, put it bluntly, the Iceman in life probably looked much more like the dark, balding mummy looks today than the artistic reconstructions. The pale European with flowing hair was a guess, and it turned out to be wrong. But to truly understand him, you have to look at the body itself. Otzi has 61 tattoos. They were meticulously mapped in 2015 by Marco Samadelli's team at the South Tyrol Museum, using multispectral imaging across wavelengths from infrared to ultraviolet. These tattoos are not pictures. They are simple groupings of parallel lines and a couple of small crosses, arranged in 19 distinct clusters on his lower back, knees, ankles, and lower right rib cage. They were made by rubbing soot into extremely fine incisions in the skin. Here is the strange part. Most of those clusters sit directly over joints where Otzi was suffering from severe arthritis. Several of them align perfectly with classical acupuncture points, predating the earliest written records of Chinese acupuncture by about 2,000 years. The geographic match between his tattoos and his joint pain is simply too precise to dismiss as a coincidence. Then there is the murder, and this part has also been completely rewritten. In 2001, X-rays revealed a flint arrowhead lodged deep in Ötzi's left shoulder, matching a tear in his coat. He was shot from behind, and the arrow had severed his left subclavian artery. For 2 decades, the assumption was that this catastrophic wound killed him in minutes from massive blood loss. But recently, researchers from the University of Zurich went back to the CT scans with advanced fluid dynamics and imaging, and they calculated a much smaller number for how much blood the wound actually released, around 100 milliliters, just half a cup. It was incredibly painful and disabling, but not the kind of injury that drops a healthy man in 3 minutes. This opened an entirely different scenario. He was wounded, unable to use his left arm, possibly fell on the rocky ground, and died of hypothermia hours later in the freezing high pass. However, the debate did not end there. In 2025, a new forensic reconstruction used 3D modelling of the arrow's trajectory, arguing the artery laceration could have killed him relatively quickly after all. His exact cause of death remains genuinely contested. But what everyone agrees on is the brutal sequence of his final days. He had a fresh, deep cut right down to the bone at the base of his right thumb, a classic defensive wound. He had bruises on his hands and chest. He suffered a severe head injury, either from a blunt force blow or from collapsing after he was shot. And the arrow shaft was missing, meaning it was either pulled out by Ötzi in a panic or retrieved by his killer. We also know that when the arrow hit, he was not running for his life. His last meal is perfectly preserved in his stomach. Frank Meixner's team at Eurac Research extracted 11 freeze-dried lumps of food and ran them through extensive DNA and chemical analysis. The results, published in Current Biology in 2018, revealed a feast: dried ibex meat, red deer, einkorn wheat, and traces of bracken fern. Almost half of his stomach contents by mass was pure animal fat. This was a deliberate, high-fat, high-calorie mountain meal, eaten between half an hour and 2 hours before he died. The toxic bracken fern is a mystery. It may have been used as wrapping for his meat, or he may have been self-administering it as medicine against the whipworms we know lived in his gut. That meal tells us a story. He sat down somewhere, probably enjoying a view, and ate a real meal. Then, within roughly 2 hours, someone put an arrow in his back. Who shot him? We don't know. But we do know one thing that hints he was not just a nobody. In 2017, a team led by Gilberto Artioli at the University of Padua published a paper in PLOS ONE focusing on Otzi's famous copper axe. They took a microscopic sample from the blade and ran a lead isotope analysis, which acts as a chemical fingerprint pointing directly back to the original ore source. Everyone had always assumed the copper came from local Alpine mines 100 kilometers away. It didn't. The isotopes perfectly matched copper deposits in southern Tuscany, more than 500 kilometers to the south. Otzi was carrying a metal weapon whose raw material had crossed most of the Italian peninsula. In the Copper Age, that is not the standard kit of an ordinary herder. It is a weapon of immense status. Finally, the place where he died has surrendered its own myths. In 2022, Lars Pillow, a glacial archaeologist in Norway, published a paper in the Holocene that systematically dismantled the original preservation story. For decades, the textbook account claimed Ötzi fled into the mountains in the fall, froze almost immediately, and was sealed beneath a moving glacier in an accidental time capsule. Pilo's team proved that almost none of that holds up. The digested food in his stomach confirms he died in late spring or summer, not the fall. The ice covering him was never a moving glacier. It was a stationary patch of snow and ice frozen to the bedrock. Radiocarbon dating of plant material found in the gully proves the site melted out and refroze multiple times over the centuries. He was not perfectly sealed. He came back to the surface repeatedly before being permanently buried around 1500 years after his death. So, put it all together. The Ötzi from the museum gift shop, the pale Sardinian-related man with steppe ancestry who got shot, died fast, and lay perfectly preserved beneath an unmoving glacier, is mostly a fiction. The new genome proves he was dark, balding, and over 90% Anatolian farmer. The neighbour study proves his mother's family line has entirely vanished from human history. The cause of death keeps shifting between a quick bleed out and a slow freeze. The copper in his axe came from 500 kilometers south, and the glacier never really sealed him at all. What's left is a 45-year-old, dark-skinned, balding man from an isolated mountain community carrying a status-grade weapon whose metal crossed half of Italy. He sat down, ate ibex and red deer fat, and within 2 hours someone shot him in the back from a distance. We still do not know who killed him, or why, or what the 61 tattoos really meant. The 2023 study did not close the book. Every few years, a better technique strips away another assumption, and a different Otzi steps forward. Until the next discovery, this is Strata Files.